UFC lightweight champion Ilia Topuria has come out stating that he's going to be taking longer than he expected off from fighting due to these legal issues. You know, he's got a huge situation going on with his ex-wife. I think her name is Georgina. Big allegations, defamation, extortion is things we're hearing of. And I figured we go through and cover it in today's video because this has a lot to do with the lightweight division and what it's going to pan out over probably 2026, the entire year in general. So we'll go ahead and jump in. But before we do, I want to take a moment and ask that if you watch my videos, if you're a fan of it, if you enjoy what I'm doing, please subscribe, share, and like. It really helps the channel grow. I'm going to say this at the beginning of every video because it seems to be working, and I really appreciate the support I've got so far. We're about to hit 30 subscribers. And I mean, in the 2.5 months I've done this, I've never had so much fun making content for an audience like y'all. But I'll shut up and we'll go ahead and get in. Ilia Topuria says he's being extorted with false allegations of domestic abuse. Now, these are big claims, but it seems warranted. I've been subjected to severe and unacceptable pressure, including threats to disseminate false allegations of domestic abuse unless financial demands were met. So what that means, if you don't know big words, you're just dopamine fried and you don't want to think about it, is she's saying, hey, I'm going to get a lot of your money, or I'm going to go say you sexually assaulted me or physically assaulted me. Domestic abuse. Sorry, not sexually. They were fucking married. This evidence has been submitted to the appropriate judicial authorities in order to pursue legal action for attempted extortion, falsification of evidence. Maybe she was putting on makeup and taking photos to make it look like she had bruises. We know if Ilia puts his hands on you, you're probably not going to be awake to take the photos. So far, I'm on Ilia's side. There's not a lot of proof that goes against him, and we got something to talk about with other fighters not being on his side, but we'll get there. Yeah, misappropriation of funds and personal property and multiple threats. So she's trying to lie, probably to the court they're doing their divorce through. She's trying to obtain an insane amount of money, majority custody of their kids. Topuria hasn't seen his daughter in months. This woman really does seem like evil. And then I'll go ahead and click on his statement. I'm not going to read all of it out for y'all, but I'm sure I'll just sit here for a second. Yeah, crazy situation for Ilia Topuria. It's really unfortunate. We saw back in, I want to say July or June it was. Of course, Andrew Tate's got something to say down here. He's got a fight coming up. But back in July or June, I think, Ilia got the knockout over Oliveira to secure the lightweight title, two-time champion. He has his wife right there with him. It was a wholesome moment. And it's really sad to see the fall from grace where half a year later they're, going to divorce and she's threatening him with false allegations, this and that. It's just disgusting that this has to happen. And I have no reason to believe that Ilia has done that. Ilia seems like a pretty stand-up guy. He's a bit corny, but I don't see him being abusive behind the scenes. He seems like a very well put together man. He represents himself well. He's a man that young men should look up to. He's accomplished things. He's classy. I think she's trying to big up the situation to make the most out of this divorce. Who said you couldn't find a wife for Miami? The Nelk boys were right. Comically, that is a tragic clip that's doing the rounds of Topuria pressing them, defending his wife just for her to do this. So it turns out you cannot find your wife in Miami. But yeah, it just same thing going here. If you're reading this, I mean, false allegations. Ilia's got the evidence to prove it. And he initially was just gonna stay silent. He didn't even say that they had messed up, and the whole UFC community was spectating, or not spectating. I don't know, but they were theorizing about what could happen. People were saying Ilia cheated, this, that, and now it comes out like it's false allegations, and he's saying, you know what, being silent is not the right thing to do anymore. These are serious allegations. These are defamating allegations. I need to prove my point. So he released this statement and said that this is the only statement, but I think, despite it having a lot of words, this still is worth 1,000 more words. It shows that Ilia is professional in what's going on, and I believe that in the matter that he's handling this, it shows his innocence. He says that he has evidence to prove that everything she has is false. He has evidence to prove that his statements are right. So I guess we just have to wait to the court date. And he's saying he puts his faith into the judicial process and a lot of the legal system, which is dangerous because a lot of times, even with conflicting evidence, they will favor the mother. But with Ilia being such a big star, maybe they'll listen to his plea, look at his evidence, consider him for this. I really do hope he comes out on top here, especially if he's in the right. If he's in the wrong, then I need to make another video addressing all of this. But we'll go ahead and move on to some reactions from this. Bryce Mitchell, I'll let him speak.
Something for you, bitch. This is called the wife beater special. That's right. I got my wife beater on for Ilia Topuria. That bitch puts his hands on a woman. I grew up without a dad. Never seen my dad.
All right, he just yaps, but that is a very strong opening statement from Bryce Mitchell. That bitch Ilia puts his hands on women. That'll get you killed around these parts. You're straight a bitch for that. Your brother's a bitch too. Calls. You don't deserve this. He just keeps going. He just keeps going. You need to repent and return to Jesus Christ. I really don't like this whole Jesus crusade that Bryce is on when he literally defended Hitler, Prime Hitler. That's what he called him, Prime Hitler, before he was on the meth. Ilia is a devout Christian. Him and his brother are. So I don't think religion's really the way to attack this. And I feel like Bryce, of all people, who just was a victim of context because he wasn't really praising Hitler. He was just giving a historical take in a certain way. He's just an idiot in how he presented it. I feel like him, of all people, should understand that evidence should come out and context should be explained before you just go out with these crazy claims. But maybe he's still angry about getting choked out, and he's calling out his brother to a fight. I personally think Ilia Topuria versus Bryce Mitchell would be a nasty fight, bad blood. Bryce Mitchell would probably get destroyed. Bryce just isn't that durable anymore, it seems. Like, he's not the best fighter that we thought he was. And Ilia Topuria has looked good in his recent fights, and it'd be an exciting fight. It sucks that it had to happen this way. Like, this is the build-up, is false allegations from Bryce Mitchell. But it would still be a fun fight nonetheless. I don't like this from Bryce Mitchell. I feel like there was a large portion of the MMA community that was willing to give Bryce, a platform to speak and explain his actions. He apologized. He cleared up what he meant. And I feel like he should apply that lenience that we gave him to Topuria. It's innocent until proven guilty. That's how this goes. There's no videos of Ilia beating her up. There's no videos of Ilia even being aggressive. We've yet to even see a photo of her with a bruise, even if it's like a fake one. I haven't seen anything. So this is Bryce Mitchell just jumping on a bandwagon of a news headline, and it's not good. You probably got a drinking problem. Wives ain't belts. It ain't the more the merrier. You're out running around working. What is it? Oh, God, I can't read. You're out running around working on your third wife. You think they're like, what does this even mean, Bryce? You're kind of just ranting on nothing here. You're making a false statement, false allegations, calling him a woman beater, a pussy. He doesn't come to Christ. Like, I expected better from Bryce Mitchell, but then again, he has been slept quite a few times, so that CTE's growing. But yeah, still, good matchup. Ilia Topuria, Bryce Mitchell. I'd love to see it. I just really hope Bryce comes around and apologizes to Topuria until the evidence is proven. But this also has massive implications for the lightweight division. Shout out Holloway Volk. Let me not get like any copyright for showing that, because is that not actually no, it's public. What am I yapping about? And now I'm back on the feed here. But yeah, Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. We have this coming up in January 24th, I think, the first pay-per-view of the Paramount era. I already subscribed to Paramount last night. This is a good fight. We know it's got big implications. It's an interim title shot, so Ilia will probably come back and beat them. I could see probably another 3, 4, 5 month break between title fights. Ilia's probably going to deal with this. It'll probably be solved near summer, and I could see Ilia taking a fight, probably International Fight Week. I think, what is that, July? Against the winner of this. I personally think Paddy wins, but we'll make our predictions when we get there. It is a close fight, though. But with Ilia, taking this time off, and it's an unset amount of time. He said that he went from thinking, beginning of 2025, first quarter, to I don't even know at this point, because it seems like this legal case might get dragged on. Most legal cases do. They take half a year, sometimes more. And that's not a good thing to have in the back of your mind and be struggling with when you're trying to go into a world championship fight with the best of the best. So I totally approve of Ilia's time off. It does kind of suck seeing him talk about boxing and being near the end of his career. Like, we're rallying behind you with this, false allegation case. We want you back in the UFC. We want you getting legacy. We love to see that Makhachev fight, even though Makhachev's looked really good. But he's yapping about boxing, so it's not the greatest thing. But this is still going to be a good fight. I definitely see Ilia getting the title shot when he comes back. I don't know if there's ever going to be like a switch up where Ilia gets stripped for inactivity and now all of a sudden he's not exactly a number one contender, but he doesn't even have a place in the UFC rankings, and maybe he just dips and goes to boxing, maybe buys Lou out of his contract. I don't know how many more fights he has on it. But I'm curious to see how this is going to play out. I really do hope Topuria gets this solved, gets back in the ring, unifies the belt. I think he probably still beats Paddy or Gaethje. I mean, the Paddy fight would be tough, but Paddy's always getting hit clean on the chin, so I don't know. But I just wanted to make a short video covering this situation. It's really nasty. It's unfortunate that a lot of men go through this. And it sucks because a lot of guys aren't at the popularity of Topuria, and they don't get this rally behind them. They get a few friends, and that just isn't enough in the eyes of the court system, who typically favor the women in most cases like this with divorce amongst kids and royalties and whatnot. So I mean, I'm hoping the best for Ilia Topuria. I assume he's innocent. If he's not, I'll come out, make a statement, cover the context, reform my opinion. But as of right now, based on the evidence I've seen and his professionalism, his statement, I've yet to see anything from his wife. I believe Ilia Topuria is innocent. I feel like she's trying to extort him. He literally admitted to defamation and blackmail. It's disgusting that we live in a world like this. But prayers for Ilia Topuria's situation. Bryce Mitchell needs to use his brain, and we'll see how the 155 title picture plays out. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. Nothing crazy. I got a video coming out tomorrow, 2025 Fighter of the Year. So I hope y'all enjoy that. I just woke up this morning and saw that this Topuria situation was kind of hitting headlines, and I was like, well, let me go to, jump on my computer, make a quick video about it, get some coverage. I'm sure a lot of people need the context of this. They're not doing all the digging on it. And there isn't much to dig on. I mean, not a lot of evidence has come out. But, again, thank y'all so much for watching. If you liked the video, drop a like, drop a comment. I've been getting a lot of comments of support. I really do appreciate it. I love every one of y'all. If there's some evidence I'm not seeing that about that, says otherwise about the Topuria situation, please let me know. I want to be right on this take. Morally, obviously, I'm totally against assault of any kind, and but I'm also against extortion and blackmail. So as of right now, I support Ilia Topuria, and I hope the best for him. And see you.